And good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay, but in microphones, they don't like to agree with us today. Once again, welcome to the Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council's outreach update. I hope everyone had a good summer. I hope everyone's enjoying so far the month of September. At this moment in time, before I start procedures and everything else, as a reminder to everyone, housekeeping rules is very important. Please, everyone, please keep your microphones on muted. Please look at your menus. Some of your menus may be updated because, as you're aware, we are getting a lot of new softwares updated from 4G to 5G or latest update. So please keep always your computers and softwares always up to date as we are doing it right now. Also, to remind you, you could please remind yourself that announcements should be always emailed to the Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council, which the email is here and always in the beginning of the screen and on the housekeeping rules. So you can put it into the chat. You will be announcing your announcements later on, as well as please email it if you have something new you want to make sure we have it. And that's including trainings, events, any additional service openings you want, make sure it goes out. It will always be updated on the website starting on Saturday, and the information, and then by Sunday, you guys can look at it and always, make sure that you pass the word out. Right now, we're doing very well, and I will explain that more later on. As to remind you, on your board areas, you have a hand raise. Please use the hand raise if you have any questions for any person. Also remind you, if you don't have a hand raised, please use the chat, as I will be looking at the chat as well if you have a question. Some of you are putting your information on the chat. Thank you so much. And as a reminder, please don't forget to put it into the email as well. Now, the hand raises are very easy to find. It has a picture of a hand. Some of you who has a tablet can just say, I have a question, Chris, and make sure that I will make sure it gets your attention. But please note, I will get to you as soon as possible. But please make sure you put it in during when the speaker is speaking. So therefore, I will make sure I keep an eye on it as well. So please make sure we follow the housekeeping rules. Microphones should be unmuted unless the speaker is speaking, and then I go on mute for a little bit, and then the next person will speak. We need to make sure we keep the microphones easy so we don't have any echoes or backbeat. We don't want to hurt anyone's ears. Trust me on that. So, as I remind you, and as I remind you again, now, before I start anything in regular business, first, I hope everyone had a wonderful, a fantastic summer. I know we had a lot of people went out and enjoyed the beautiful weather, got a chance to go on the Coney Island, because I did see a lot of people out there, as well as the Bronx, Queens, anywhere they went. I hope everyone had a great summer. Now, I did send out this email during the summer. As a remind you, the Brooklyn Advisory Council has a new phone number. Since it was mentioned, I will remind everyone, this is our new number. This is the new telephone number. Please make sure you put that down. Now, we check our voice messages from the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday to Friday. The person that checks the voice message is right here. Ann Menino, our executive assistant, does check the messages as she's waving to everyone, saying, hello, everyone from Brooklyn land. Please make clear that if you're leaving a voice message, please be very clear and slowly, because if you talk like that, we will not return the calls because we don't know what are you saying. Second, also, we do check the voice messages from those times, and if it's a holiday, we will not return it until the next day. So please, guys, as courtesy it is, you can always email us or visit our website. The information is always available and always updated with a lot new information we get every week, including the mask, including events that comes in, and a lot of things that we've been doing for the last almost now 6.5 years. So I'm reminding everyone, please always, if you're going to call the advisory council office, please give us a call at those hours. We will get back to you as soon as possible. And as a reminder, people are coming in, please keep your microphones on muted. as well. So that is one thing that I want to remind you. Now, another thing that everyone has been driving me mashuganot, and I'm going to use the word mashuganot, the subcommittees are being worked on, and they will be announced at the next Wednesday's the joint meeting of both of the Brooklyn Advisory Council and the DD Council. So we do want to make it very clear to everyone that all the subcommittees will be scheduled. The transition will be coming back as well. And I do need to remind people as they're coming on, immediately mute and please keep any volume levels away from the microphones because it does cause echoing. So please check on the website beginning the end of next week, and you will see some of the subcommittees will be up. Please note these dates and times can be changed or canceled or short notice. So please always check the website. Instead of calling us or emailing us, check the website. The website does get updated, and the Advisory Council email does get information. Once we get it, we put it under the vacation mode, so you will see what meetings are coming up. Just like the Advisory Council outreach update, that gives you any information. Just always check the website, and please always share that with the families. And that's including trainings and events or any other things they need to know as well. Now, everyone's been asking me this question, so this is right now. As you're aware, the joint meetings will still continue by virtual on Ring Central. The meeting, we have to remind you guys to please try to get on by 9:30 so we can start on schedule, because then some people misses the beginning of the meeting, and it does interrupt the both chairs, Deborah Greif, who's here, and Joyce Levin, and Brian, who's our provider vice chair, and me as the other vice chair and correspondence secretary. So you all know those titles. We like to make sure we start on time so our speakers or our IAC or OPWDD, or if we have a speaker, we want to make sure we start on time. 9:55 is the reason why we start 5 minutes of distance, because we have to remind people to keep following the orders, and we have to make sure everyone has read the minutes, make a motion, and then proceed on schedule. So therefore, we can finish the meeting possibly at 12 o'clock. Maybe once in the blue moon, we might finish 15 minutes early, but we'll see. This information is also on the website as of now, as of last 2 weeks ago. So these are the schedules, and I will remind you, please note this may change. If any changes, you will know when we do it, okay? So therefore, since we're in September, and forgive me if my thing gets a little jammy, but the next one is scheduled is September 21st, which is next Wednesday. You can visit the website and automatically you can click on to that link. Or if you already have a Ring Central app, you can just go on to join the meeting. And therefore, it will get you on the next step of the meeting as well. So right now, the next one is next Wednesday, because the following week is Rosh Hashanah. We want to make sure everyone is enjoying the holidays and the high holy days. So therefore, we want to remind everyone, sign in at 9:30. We will start at 9:55. Please always make sure that before you get on, please check your softwares and make sure no one's interrupting it. Because we are getting aware that some area people are having trouble, which is not us, because I know you're having the same issue with Zoom. It is not Zoom, it is not Ring Central or Microsoft Teams. It comes from the internet software signal. So please always make sure that your signals are in a good area. But I remind you, as you know, we're switching to 5G. If you have 3G, 3G is no longer existing. 4G will be going out sooner. So please make sure your software is always up to date and any signal on that. So the next meeting for both councils will be on the 21st. Brian, who's the vice chair, provider, who's our new vice chair, will be representing for Joyce. Deborah will be there, and you know I will always be there, God willing, but I will be there as well. So please make sure you have all this information with you. And as again, to remind you, we are Brooklyn, New York tough, because we are Brooklyn tough. We keep tough because we got to keep advocating as well. So at this moment, does anyone have any questions for me? Please raise your hand, or you can put your questions on the chat. Since no one else has any questions for me, God bless America, I will ask Deborah Greif, Chair of the Advisory Council, as well as statewide. She has her report. Deborah, you there?
1 minute. Unmute me.
I don't control the mute button. You do.
I know. It doesn't want to open.
It takes a few seconds. It's called temperamental. Go ahead. You just muted yourself again.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Continue.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful for us to now start a new season for our meetings, our outreach updates. As you know, there have been a ton of changes to OPWDD. First, there is changes to, how reimbursement is being done. As you know, we are now in our new fiscal year. And before I go further, I want to give a brief explanation what I meant. Every part of the state except New York City, their fiscal year is April 1st to March 31st. New York City is July 1st to June 30th. As of July 1st, we have now new guidelines and how reimbursement, which is part of family support services, is being done. It is very important that I hope everybody listening on this, that the CCOs have made sure they get trained. The families who need help to understand, please let us know. If we have to, yes, we will set up a further training so we can explain to both parents, professionals, that includes CCOs, how to do the new reimbursement guidelines. My other update I want to give to everybody is, as you know, I'm the Brooklyn representative to the New York State's Family Support Service Advisory Council statewide council. We've met virtually, but not in person. Because when the governor puts on an emergency, that we're in a state of emergency, we are not allowed to we're not supposed to be in meetings in person. So she took us off. So now I am supposed to go up on Tuesday, September 20th. Few things we will be discussing. Yes, we're going to try to get in about changes to the reimbursement. We're also going to be we're trying to get them to explain to us about the RFPs. Yes, the advisory council working with the Brooklyn, this advisory councils work with their local DDROs, developmental disabilities regional office to figure out what we need in services in our county. It could be we need more reimbursement, we need crisis intervention, whatever's under the family support umbrella. Thankfully, we have Janet Davis on this morning. She can questions that I definitely cannot answer. She will be, I know, helpful to answer. It is very important that we all work together because the parents in my age group, we took over for the families who founded OPWDD, which at that time was OMRDD. I'm only going by history. As you know, we keep updating and evolving. So it's very, very important that everybody also keeps in touch with us. Let us know. That includes if you're having issues that getting more families into your programs, please contact us. We will make sure we do our best to help we put your info on our website. We also, when families call saying they need help or services, we try to refer them. Or what we do is we let our DDRO staff help us with that to make sure that the family is getting the right help and services. It is extremely important also that we work together because by unity, it's strength in numbers. Yes, I know times I've been told, well, you're just a parent. Well, a lot of your agencies like AHRC, YAI, can go on forever and ever, have been founded by parents. When it was OMRDD, it was the parents, family members who did the advocating, and that's why we have a system today. Yes, there's a lot of things that have to be fixed, but everything takes time, and we will evolve and fix it. Is another important thing that we need everybody to work with us. I thank the nationwide ARCs, and in New York City it's AHRC, for advocating, because we must have our Social Security income levels, that's for SSI, SSDI, raised higher. Why is that as important as I'm saying? Many of our individuals can possibly go to work, except not everybody remembers. Since 1939, when Social Security added another service and benefits to their program, it was called at that time widows and orphans. That meant that if, say, the father died, mom would get help, as well as the children under the age of 18 or /22 if they were going to college. Also, children have to have a disability, whether it's developmental, certain other disabilities, noted before the age 22. Why is this important? As you know, we have the Medicaid waiver. The Medicaid waiver helps our individuals continue to get extra help and services, because if their parent, because once the parent of the child with disabilities, the parent can either become disabled themselves, retires, or sadly dies. The child collects under their parent's Social Security number, and they can go up to a very high amount. And if they're under 1,500, yes, New York, this is in New York State only that I'm aware of. We're only going to talk about New York State. They collect the benefits under their parent, and what is New York State will pay for the Part A and B. If they're over or they make more money than mom or dad, because remember, many of our parents, their wages and income levels were much lower than they are today, and that's why we need them to raise the income levels. Because if you make one more dollar than mom or dad, who you're collecting under, you lose your Medicaid waiver, and then it becomes a spend down. Spend downs can take your whole check, most likely. That is not good. We want our family children to be able to work and be and to live a good quality life. So we have to advocate with all of our elected officials. I also hope everyone has signed up. I am not telling you what political party to join, not at all. But I'm asking everybody, and including our children, once you're 18 and you're a United States citizen, and no, you don't have to speak English to be a United States citizen, you can vote. And I would appreciate if everybody voted, because the elected officials need to see how powerful our voting block is, so we can make sure our direct care professionals make the correct salaries they do, so we don't have to constantly lose staff. Our children will get the right kind of help and services, as well as the parents, because we, the parents who keep our children home with family support services, deserve a lot of help, because many of us also are in credit card debt, because it's very expensive to be a parent of a child with developmental disabilities. So let's please continue to advocate and work together. Please let us know if you need help or issues. As you know, Christopher just gave you all the contact information. I will be staying on and listening to everybody. Again, I want to thank everybody, and please come to the meetings. It's done virtually, I know, but please, families, make sure your care coordinator is participating in this meeting, the subcommittees from the Brooklyn DD Council, and show up to the joint meetings. This is extremely important for all of us. So I'm turning this back over. Christopher, I'm done. Thank you.
Anyone have a question for Deborah? Guys, anyone had any questions for Deborah? Now, Deborah, can you hear me? Just making sure. Shake your head. Deborah, can you shake your head? Thank you. You make it. Don't scare me. Okay. Since no one has any questions for Deborah, and she's been giving you guys this information, Janet Davis, do you want to give any update? And
I'm so sorry, Chris, but I have construction going on all around me and it's very hard to hear.
okay, do you have anything you want to say?
It's going to be hard for you because there's all kinds of drilling. There's
I
no
can hear you.
updates that I have now.
Okay, but I just want to make sure. But I can definitely hear you loud and clear. Actually, I can hear you without the microphone. No, just kidding. Okay, since Deborah doesn't.
This is Angela Blades. We have no real updates at this point, but I would encourage the care managers if they have questions or concerns about reimbursement, that they do send emails to the local DDRO so we can go through it and see if it's something that might be approved instead of having the families spend their money and not get reimbursement. Thank you.
I agree with you're saying, Angela. And just to Angela, since you're here, do you have anything that needs to be updated regarding the guidebook or anything needs to be brought up?
Not at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Angela. It's good to hear from you. Okay. Since we're going to be moving on, before I do the next run of other people, do we have any elected official representative here? If you are here, can you please unmute and please identify yourself? Otherwise, I will proceed to the next person. And okay. So at this moment in time, what was that? Oh, Janet, do you have a question? Oh, okay. Because you just came on your screen. That's why. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So right now, I'm going to ask Sarah Thompson from the Transit Museum. Do you want to? You have? I know you have a very important update you want to bring up.
Good morning, everyone. This is Sarah. I'm the access manager at the New York Transit Museum. And really, Chris, you could probably do this announcement on your own. But I did want to share.
I want you to do it because I have enough hats.
I just wanted to share that the museum is having our parade of trains is back after a break for a couple years. So Parade of Trains is when the public is welcome to ride our vintage trains. It's free, except you just have to swipe your Metro card or tap your Omni to get into the subway system. It is at Brighton Beach Station on Saturday and Sunday, this Saturday and Sunday. I put the link to our calendar where you can find more information about the times and all that good stuff. And I can put that in again in case anyone missed it. And so it's just a really fun event where you could just hop on one of those vintage trains. It's about a 20-minute ride. And then there's multiple trains. You can ride multiple ones. It's just a shuttle. So it'll take you out for 10 minutes, then bring you back to Brighton Beach Station for another 10 minutes. So each ride's about 20 minutes. And if you need accessibility information, you can certainly reach out to me at the Transit Museum. I'll put my email address in the chat as well. But the closest accessible stations would be Kings Highway and Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, using the Q train. So the Q train goes to those stations, and that is where you would be able to, if you needed to get into the system that way, or if you needed to change platforms, you could use those stations as well. Am I forgetting anything, Chris?
Sarah, it's also good to see you, but I think, do you have some other events that are coming up also? Because we did see that on your calendar, and just everyone knows her information is also on our website, an events and training page as well. Yeah. She has some other events coming up.
Yeah, so we're still doing online programming as well. So we have an exciting one on September 22nd. We have a virtual museum highlights tour, but the educator for that program will be live in the museum and will be interacting then live from the museum and finding out what people want to check out. So again, I'll put that program's calendar in so you can register for that. That is a free program on Zoom. I think that's the biggest thing happening right now. I don't think there's any other programs to share about right now.
Does anyone have any questions for Sarah Thompson from the Transit Museum? Sarah, I do have one question in the chat that is not linked to us because they're asking for privacy.
Okay.
The question is, and unfortunately, you and I already discussed this answer. I think this is a double header question we can answer, but do you know if the 1903 train will be running this year?
The 1903 train, so that sounds like the wooden elevated trains that you're referring
Yeah,
to.
it used to be in the Brooklyn division.
Yes, it was the Brooklyn Union cars, and yes, they should be running at Parade of Trains. I know that's a highlight to be able to experience those old wooden train cars with the windows open. It's really lovely.
And just to remind people, you're not allowed to stick your head out.
Yes, please be safe.
Yeah,
and
because
face masks are not required, but they're encouraged.
And just to remind people, it's on Saturday and Sunday. This train will be running Saturday and Sunday as well. Sarah, the question is also, we understand that Brighton Beach is not ADA accessible, but do you know where the train will be arriving onto the platform? Because years ago it wasn't. It was terminating and restarting up at the Coney Island side platform. Is that still continuing?
I myself am not sure exactly how those trains are run. That's more of the MTA side determines things like that. I believe, though, that there'll be trains on both sides. So, right, you go to either platform, you'll be able to get on a train. And then if you want to go to the other side to see that other train, then you would get on a Q train to one of those accessible stations like Kings Highway and switch there to come back to Brighton Beach.
Sarah, this is
Yes.
Debbie.
Hi.
Hi, so good to see you. Okay. This is the problem where I appreciate you really find out. I'm going to use me as the example. I go to Kings Highway to get on, take the elevator up. But guess what? The elevator's out that day. Now, I'm not supposed to walk steps, and neither is a lot of people with disabilities. So I got to figure out how to get on the train. That's why I need to know which side is which train going to be. I need to know the train that goes back and forth to Kings Highway. They do that. If there's a problem because that elevator is out, we got a big problem. That means I'd have to go all the way to Atlantic Avenue. No, wait, I can actually go to Avenue H, if the elevator for the northbound, and then go down the ramp and then go around, go back up the ramp. I really need to know what side is the train that's going to be traveling back and forth between Kings Highway, not just me. Please put pressure on them to answer you.
Okay.
Because it's an ADA requirement I need to know in advance. So I and other families and people who do have disabilities who want to get on those trains will know the right way to travel. So please even make sure your staff checks to make sure the elevators at Kings Highway are in great working conditions.
Yes.
Because you see at Stillwell, I just have to cross a platform and I can go up
or
and
stay
down.
on the same train.
Please let me know, okay? And everybody else.
Yes.
Let us know as soon as you can, really. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I will work on that.
Thank
yes,
you.
and certainly, yes, crossing my fingers that there's not a sudden elevator outage.
I'm praying it won't be.
It did happen one time, Sarah, for the record. It did happen, and the problem was, thank God, one of the bills agreed, that person, it was also on one side, because then you had one train only running from Brighton Beach to half of Ocean Parkway and then came back. But if it stays on the same routine it did 3 years ago, it will be much easier because it will get, so we can let the customers know who uses Accessorite to go to Kings Highway. So just to let you know that we just need to make sure that information goes, that's something that we definitely have to continue working on, that we need to know for accessibility safety.
Great, thank you, and thank you
Yeah.
everyone for your questions.
At this moment in time, Sarah, that was the only question. No one else has any questions for Sarah Thompson. And just to remind everyone, okay, as a reminder, everyone, the Transit Museum is still open. Am I correct, Sarah? Any new changes we should know in the museum if they want to come?
The museum is open in downtown Brooklyn Thursday through Sunday, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You do have to purchase your tickets on our website in advance. We do sell out on the weekends. Last week we did in accordance with the state and the MTA, change our face mask policy where face masks are no longer required, but they're still encouraged.
As an option. So, thank you, Sarah. Madam Chair, can you please mute your microphone, please?
I'm trying. It's stuck. And so can you also lower my hand for me? It's not working.
Your hand is not up.
Oh, well, it's up on my.
There you go.
Sorry.
Can you please stop clicking the microphone? Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Sarah, very much. I'm going to move on down to Joyce from HRC.
Hi, I think I had my hand raised by accident. I did not have an announcement.
This is not an announcement time.
Okay. Sorry.
Do you have, Joyce, and where, I know you're from HRC. Can you please identify where you're from?
Hi, I'm in the Brooklyn borough. I'm a program director. So I work with the sites at in the Canarsie and Bensonhurst neighborhoods, as well as our Without Walls program.
Welcome. Okay, so you don't have any new information regarding HRC programs?
Not new information, but of course, where, all our programs are open, we're enrolling people, we're, constantly trying to improve our remote services, which we still also offer. So if anybody has people who are recently graduated, we have a referrals@ahrcnyc.org. And using that email, you can also put in a referral for multiple services. So if you want Article 16, if a person needs PT, person wants more than one service like Community Hub, that can all be sent to that one referral email. And then they would direct you to the intake person for each of those services.
Thank you so much, Joyce. Does anyone has a question for Joyce? Hold on, Joyce. I'm just double checking. No questions here, but thank you, Joyce. And I hope to see you more, and you and anyone from HRC try to attend more of the meetings, so we can, always like to hear any new stuff coming in. Joyce, you heard me?
Yes, thank you. Same. I did have just in listening to about the MTA. A lot of the transit apps that people use send alerts and crowdsource, is the train crowded? Maybe we can encourage them to include a feature where people can alert when the elevator at that station is not working.
There is an app. To answer that question, Joyce, there is an app for that. You can also, the families can sign up for that also, for the alerts of all stations or what true stations they need to know, just not on the subways, but on Long Island Railroad and Metro North as well.
Yeah, but it's a separate app. That's different from what everybody uses. I'm sorry, I'm outside.
Yeah, because you're breaking up, and I think you didn't hear what I just said. There are two options. The MyMTA website does have that right now, and it does tell you which stations are out or one elevator is being renovated. It is available on the website. They can check it out.
Yes, I agree. I just, in order to make things like everything should be accessible, and a whole separate app Well, and there's so many that even the MTA pushes, like the transit app, it should be integrated. I just don't feel it's fair that everybody with a disability should have a separate app when, you know, there's universal ones that should include that information.
Right
Right.
now, they are working on the app right now. So therefore, they are going to be upgrading it more. But I will remind right now, it is on the one all-in-one app, which is on the My MTA app. George, if you need me to show you that, we can set up an arrangement. I'll have set up an arrangement so you can see what I'm seeing. So therefore, if some families are having that issue, want to know when that elevator is out, they do have an option too for accessibility. We, as a member of ACTA, member and also part of doing technology information, we have been working on upgrading the app as well to make it more ADA friendlier. And some of your self-advocacy group from HRC, as well as YI and HeartShare and other groups, if I mention every agency will be here, have been putting these ideas in. So there are going to be some upgraded changes coming up soon. That's also including Accessorite as well. So I hope that helped your question.
Yes, okay.
Anyone else have a question for Sarah also at the same time, as well as Joyce, as well as I? And I'm just going to double check the chat because something popped up. Okay. So I see a Davis. Good, good. Okay. Dolores Khan, I know you're here, and I did get a message that your agency was going to give me an update on something you guys have.
Hi, good morning. Nice to be back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everybody had a good summer. My name is Doris Khan, and I'm an outreach coordinator for New York State Institute on Disability. We're a family support agency, and we provide evaluations for individuals who do not have Medicaid. We provide crisis management services. We provide a recreation and outings, and we provide transportation and reimbursement. The update I have is that NYSID has updated forms. We updated our forms as of July 1st, 2022. So I want to tell the care coordinators and other agencies that if you have any our forms before July 1st, 2022, we are not using them anymore. So if you want to get new forms, I did send the forms to your website, to the Brooklyn Developmental Council website and Family Support website. You can also email Sarah Alton at SALTON@nysidinc.org, NYSIDINC.org, or you can call her 718-494-6457. For reimbursement, as the agencies know, New York State has given us a general reimbursement form to use. All agencies now are required to use the OPWD FSS reimbursement form. Not so in agencies that have applications, that's not acceptable. For reimbursement, you have to use this form. Now, everybody will have that form, and that's the form we're going to be using. And they can contact Sarah Alton for that form too, or you could download it from the OPWD website. And that's my update for today. Thank you, Chris.
Does anyone have a question for Dolores Khan? Dolores, I do have one question. You said to me just a few minutes ago you emailed the advisory council?
Yeah, this was in the summertime.
I did not get that.
Do it again. I emailed, and I'll tell you exactly when I emailed it. Oh, July 28th, 2022.
Okay. Can you resend it to me so I can just match it to the system?
Again. It had all I sent the new forms to
Yeah,
you also.
but
Okay.
I just need to see what the form. I just need to add it to the website so I can put that in.
Right. So I should email it to you or send it to the website?
No, you don't send it to the website. You email it to the advisory council. You're sending it
Okay.
to the
No, I know.
BFSS.
So that's bfssac@yahoo.com.
Yep.
Correct. Okay, I'll do that again.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah Thompson. I know you got to run, so we'll see you soon. But as a reminder, people, please make sure, as I know Angela said it earlier, and I thank her very much. And I remind also, as Dolores Kahn has mentioned, please make sure you guys, as Deborah mentioned this, Angela's mentioned it, now Dolores Kahn is mentioning it, please make sure you update your reimbursement forms. Doesn't matter if you're going to Dolores' agency or any agency. Please get the facts out. And please make sure you're letting your families know, the CCOs, everyone should know this. Please, if you have a question about this or concern about it, please also email to your DDRO. But I want to remind everyone, it does not, you can't get an answer like snapping my finger. You got to give them time, but at the same time, relax a little bit, because stressing it out is not going to solve anything. As Deborah is trying to find out more details, she may have more information next week as well, and we will keep everyone informed on that. But I'll repeat again, does anyone have any questions for Dolores Kahn? Dolores, any regarding that form and any new information, please try and make sure you send it to me.
Chris, I just want to add, the new reimbursement form from OPWDD might be challenging to fill out. We'd be happy to help them complete it, or their care manager could help them complete it, because there's some new questions there that they may not be sure how to answer. So Jackie Tribodi, who takes care of reimbursement for our agency, would be happy to help them fill it out, or their care manager could help them fill it out. So we have people to help with that.
And I will say to everyone, stay tuned for trainings that are coming up between here or the Provider Information Committee. So all I'm going to say is stay tuned on that. But I will remind everyone, please make sure you forward this information to the families and to all CCOs. And I don't want to hear any excuses. They have something else to do. It's called bring one body and let the other person pass the word out. Not that hard to do. So it's called pass the word out. And that's why it's recorded. So everything we're saying here is called pass the information out on that as well. Dolores, it's always great to hear from you. And please send regards to your agency as well. Oh, wait a minute. I got a question for you on the chat. Hold on. It's not on your end. It's on my end. How is, there was a question about transportation. Can you explain about transportation?
Yes. We provide transportation services in Brooklyn, Bronx, and Staten Island for medical and recreational activities. In Queens, we can provide transportation if you're attending a venue that we have given you tickets for. An individual is able to receive up to 4 trips per fiscal year. The transportation provided is blacktop service. The cars are very comfortable. They can accommodate walkers, wheelchairs. Of course, when you make an appointment with the transportation coordinator, you tell him if you have a wheelchair or a walker, and he will provide the car that you need accordingly. For transportation, you can contact John O'Grady at 917-747-9424, or email him at jogrady, jogrady@nicetinc.org for more information for his application. So in addition to a NICET application, you would have to fill out a transportation request form. But you call John and he would forward you both the application and the car transportation request form. Wait, well, I don't hear you. What happened? Let me go.
No, because I'm muted, because I didn't say anything yet. Just repeat again. I know we're getting some people are coming in late as usual, but it's okay, which we'll check. Does anyone have any questions for Dolores Khan on the questions? Otherwise, I will move on. If you want to talk to her about any questions, you can chat with her on the chat. Dolores, just keep an eye on your chat unless somebody has a question. They just have a light bulb on, but stand by on that question. But I repeat again regarding reimbursement. We will keep you guys informed of any trainings that are coming up, and that's not just reimbursement. Any new changes, we will let you guys know. All I'm going to say is stay tuned. Always check our website for any information that are coming, including trainings on events or trainings, as well as anything coming in as well. So as a reminder, everyone, stay tuned on that as well. Before I proceed, just want to make sure. I know I saw. Since I don't, before I move on, I just want to double check. Do we have any elected official representatives popped in? Because I know we've been receiving people coming in and leaving. Do we have any elected official representatives here? Can you please identify yourself and unmute yourself? Okay. Give you guys 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then I'll move on to other things and just double check. Before I move on to, in case anyone else didn't have any, we'll have announcements. We'll make sure you guys have any announcements. We'll make sure we do that in just a minute. But I want to remind everyone, I want to remind that, as someone, I know Sarah Thompson mentioned earlier about mask. It is your choice if you want to wear your mask. It's called option. Now, I will give one tip. If the train is getting very crowded, yes, put your mask on just to protect it. But you don't have to wear a paper mask. You can wear a washable mask, a face shield, whatever you want to wear to cover your face if you want to. And I say the word if you want to. I will remind you, it's an option. But I will remind everyone, as we are getting back to full strength of subways and buses, please be very mindful and be very careful when you're on the bus or the subway. And any issue, as I mentioned before, if you're seeing elevators or anything's up, please make sure you go to the mta.info website. That gives you any updates of service changes, alerts, suspension, or anything. And that's including Accessoride as well. There's been a lot of concerns about that as well. And I understand that right now. So all I'm going to say is stay tuned for anything that comes up. We will let you guys know. But if you have questions, please always email us at the advisory. If it's something you need to speak to me, some of you already have my email address. If it's related to MTA stuff, please email me to chrisgreif@yahoo.com. And I will remind everyone, if it's related to MTA, that should be emailed to chrisgreif@yahoo.com. As well as there is a complaint station on the MTA website that does help you out as well. And I'm going to remind everyone, if you have service openings or have a question from Deborah, you can always email us at the advisory email, which I'm putting on the chat as well. I just put my email there as well. So please, everyone, please make sure you have that information at this present time. So therefore, we can make sure that everyone has the data and the information at this time. And remind everyone who came in late, our joint meeting is next week. So please make sure you visit the website. You can also get you can click on the link right onto the website on the joint meeting. That's a little something add. So therefore, instead of trying to put in all the numbers as well as the password, because we are increasing the security to make sure we have no hackers. Now, remind people, if you're coming in, please put always your name in. So therefore, we know who you are, because if I see LMQ, whatever it is, I don't know who you are. And please, you always got to identify yourself. That's why I remind people, as you're coming in, please always put your name into the chat as well. Now, since a lot of people are still here, I am going to move on to this one more time. Do we have any elected official here that representative are here? If you have something you want to add or have any announcements, please unmute yourself and please identify yourself. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the main announcements. I will ask everyone, if you have an announcement, please, always put it in, not just on the chat, but email us as well. So I am going to check the lists. I know I already said some people already did their information. I'm going to start with ACS, Cara, and Jesse. And if I know Cliff is there, can you guys unmute?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good,
Hey,
good.
how are you?
I hear your voices, but I don't see a face. So that's okay.
What you can see our face.
Mhm.
Why not?
The camera's not on. But anyway, go ahead. Oh, that looks much better.
I still can't see you. You can see me?
I can see you, and I see a lot of shiny bright lights with smiley faces. So I'm guessing that's Cara and Jesse.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, because I touched a button that I should not have.
Well,
So
you guys have anything you want to say?
we just want to say that we're busy. School is back in session. And so, ACS is working hard with our families and the youngsters that are in our care and custody to make sure that they are going back to school, to make sure that families that have a youngster that has a disability, that we're working closely with the families and their schools to help make sure that they return to school in a consistent manner, so that they get the supports that they desperately need. So we're busy. We haven't stopped for the summer, but the fall brings a whole new workload. Carly's, we have a program that Carly could probably talk a little bit more about, our evaluations of special needs parents, as well as our special needs parent education and training program, which hopefully will expand in the future. So we got a lot of things that we're working on, and hopefully more good stuff for the children and families of New York City in the upcoming year ahead. I didn't need to say upcoming year ahead. That's redundant. In the year ahead, or in the upcoming year, whichever one you think sounds better. But always happy to be there and attend your family support advisory council meetings. They're always set.
Outreach.
Outreach. We're always so full of information. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We always take so much away.
Yes, and there is a question for you guys here on the chat.
Okay.
They're asking for your information.
Our contact information?
Yes.
Sure. So well, you know what?
I could write our emails in the chat.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
And just so everyone know, as you guys are doing that, just so everyone know that their information is also on our website, and their information is always on in 2 locations. So when you guys have a chance on our website, please make sure you look at it. We make sure any new information that comes in, we do update them as well.
That's right. And for ease, Carly's going to give you her email and my email, but for ease, if you have any questions, if anybody has a question, we have a unit mailbox which is readily available, and it is ddunit@acs.nyc.gov. So,
And I'll try to add that to the chat as well.
I knew she was going to say that.
It's called teamwork, Cliff.
It makes the dream work. Yes, sir.
Yes. When you guys have a chance, can you please email us that information? Because that's a new information I don't have on the website, so I'll make sure that's available.
Oh, of course, Christopher.
Yes. There is a second question that came up. This is for all three of you. They want to know, are you guys doing an ACS Development Disability Resource Fair?
You know what? In-person resource, we tried to do a virtual one. We did a virtual one during the pandemic, and it was, it didn't have the same kind of connection that we like to have with the people who attend. And right now, we're actually we're not authorized to have, an in-person type of work group like that. So what we're doing a lot nowadays is virtual. So we're doing a lot more virtual sessions, lunch and learn sessions. So there's lots of, we're connecting with people in a different way, and we hope in the future that they'll let us get back to in-person, job fairs and things like that, or resource fairs. But right now we don't have those plans.
Okay, but I think that's a great answer, because right now everyone, as we said, we're just coming back. So there's some city agencies that do, but there are some will be doing, and ACS will still be coming to a lot of the resource fairs. I think you guys were I don't know if you guys are attending the District 75 resource fairs in all the boroughs.
We have the dates,
which is great.
Which is great. Not sure how many, or if we're able to. We have also a number of our own work groups that are coming up. So sometimes it's a little bit of a conflict, and the Jewish holidays are coming up. But thanks for the information, because we do like to participate wherever possible. And our different borough offices have recently held their own back to school fairs, and we table those, to share information and resources for kids going back to school and families having their children go back to school. So it's been busy. It's been busy. We try to get to as much as we can, but we're not the biggest unit, but we try to be mighty, and we try to take on as much as we can.
Well, thank you guys for being here. There is no other questions unless somebody does have a question. But at this moment, I don't. Does anyone have any questions for ACS?
Or Cliff and Carly?
I was going to say, any question for Cliff, Carly, and Jesse, all the three most powerful ones in ACS disability unit?
Oh gosh, that's an overstatement.
Well, your bosses agree with me, so I'm sorry, I have to follow what they say.
Okay.
You ever heard of don't complain, enjoy the moment?
We will try.
Yeah, because in other states, there is such a thing as an ACS disability unit.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Chris. We always
no problem.
Hearing. Always.
So I'll definitely add the contacts in the chat now.
Thank you, Carly, and good to hear from both of you. And actually, I think you guys look better this way than that other screen you used to have.
We joined from this is from the phone.
Yeah, this is a phone. This is Carly's phone, actually.
I repeat again, it's great to hear clearly from you both, because I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, good.
Makes us happy too, Christopher.
Yes, and I see you blushing, Cliff. Don't blush.
It's my beard.
Yeah. I see in your head. All right. Let me make sure because we have some people still have announcements. So let me move on. We'll chat in a minute. Thank you. Fran from City Access. Announcement. Oh, Fran. Fran. FF.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute. There I go.
There we
Do you
go.
see me yet? Okay.
I can hear
Hi,
you.
good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good.
So basically, I just wanted to say that City Access does have openings with our day hab without walls in Brooklyn and in Staten Island. We're one of the largest day hab without walls, and we're very diverse in the classes that we provide for our individuals. If there's any care managers on here, and you'd like to contact me, I put my email address and the office main phone number in the chat. Any questions, please feel free to call. And we have our golf outing this Monday, next Monday, the 19th. And Tom McAbow from IAC is being honored. He, of course, is retiring in October. So if anybody's interested in coming, we'd love for you to join us. And that's about it, really. Thank you for all the information everyone's giving today. I haven't been on one of these meetings in a little while, so.
It's always important. That's why part of we do on the outreach update. Normally we do this in person. We go to different libraries and make sure. But right now the libraries, we will be finding out more later on that year if we are going to be doing any miniature resource fairs just to get the families together. But
just one more point. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Chris. Earlier in the meeting, everyone was discussing individuals who are working and, trying to vote to get the, raises and funds and all that. We have a lot of individuals who we have placed in jobs. And so we're kind of like a revolving door. They come into our day hab without walls, and then we, put them in SEMP, and then we get them a job. And one thing that we always make sure that we do is we open up an ABLE account for them. This ABLE account is so important because their pay gets directly deposited to that account. And the government does not look at any of those funds at all. Their SSI check is not touched by that, not reflected. They could have up to $100,000 in that account. Parents can contribute to that account. It's very, very important because I know a lot of parents are very worried if their children start working and then their SSI is going to be affected. So I think it's important that everybody gets that New York ABLE account information.
Yeah, and MOPA's been giving that information out as well. So thank you, Fran, for bringing.
Excuse me. Hello, this is Deborah Gray. Fran, you're not completely right at all. You can have an ABLE account. No, you're not. They go by the monthly income, SSI. If you're working and you don't report it correctly, or the parent has become disabled, retired, or died.
Sure.
No,
yeah.
They collect. So what you just said is not right completely. You cannot put all your money. You can. They do, and if they tell you they don't check, that's not true. They do check everything. Computers talk to each other.
Okay, so when you put in your hours, it's the amount, when you fill out the application, it's the amount of hours that you put in at your rate, and it never, it doesn't, we haven't had any problem. But thank you for the extra information. I appreciate it.
It does affect because I've already had families.
I was just going to say that because
families have called me, and I've had to help them figure out how to talk to Social Security to not be penalized, because if you make one more dollar than the parent, they lose their Medicaid waiver. It doesn't matter. You can have an ABLE account, can have all that. That's how they're going by it. And I think I'd appreciate if you also read up on it. It is very serious.
Who's speaking right now? I can't see who's speaking. I'm sorry.
Deborah Greif, the chair of the advisory.
Okay.
Deborah, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Deborah is actually on her cell phone now. She switched accounts because right now she's doing two heads. She did say that was Deborah Greif, the chair.
All right, so
Fran, let me just
I
add
want
this
to
real
finish
quick.
one thing. I have had too many families call me, and this is not just in New York City. We have this issue with the statewide across the whole state, and people do not pay attention. I don't know how many families I've had whose parents, all of a sudden the kid gets a lot of money in their SSI, SSDI, and guess what? Then all of a sudden, not every agency's checked to see which Social Security, because New York City and New York State Medicaid knows about this. And we have to be extremely careful because too many families have then been forced to do the spend down. And some parents have been paying for their child services through a credit card, or making sure their portions of the rent and everything is paid for so they don't become homeless. And that is a very serious issue, and it's happening more than you realize. And there's been mistakes when people say, oh, it's just a stipend. No, it's a wage. They tax you because, let me tell you something, the IRS checks it besides Social Security, and also the New York State controls. They check incomes all the time. And they will go right through and they will contact the banks and look at everything. So you need to be extremely careful. Has nothing to do whether they have an ABLE account or not. It's if they make that one more dollar than mom or dad, then they can lose their Medicaid waiver and the New York State part of the benefit that pays and covers your Part A and B. The basic is around maybe 120, 130 to pay Part A and B. But you should also realize you can pay up to $500 to $600 for your Part A and B on your Medicare. And I've been told this by the head of Medicaid in New York City. And I've done a lot of different Medicaid trainings, and we all have to be much better educated and take every training, because it's not just the individuals, they suffer the most, but it's also us families who are in such credit card debt that our child has to stay with us even maybe longer than we would have liked, because we're in debt for credit cards and because of this serious mistake. And we have to make sure that everybody understands how to report this correctly. And I'm tired of seeing families in credit card debt, and we don't get the help we need. Nobody helps us.
I'm not all right. Well, Deb, thank you very much for that. I'm only speaking of my experience, and we have been doing this for a few years now. So I am read up on it, and we haven't had any issues, and our participants haven't had any issues. So let's agree. And I think you have a lot of valid points there, but thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
can I suggest for both Fran and also Mayor's Office with Disability, and Madam Chair, can you please mute yourself because I don't need echoes, please. I'm trying to keep the mic stable. Thank you. Let me remind everyone, MOPED has a certain program that does help to make sure Social Security, as well as anything when their individual is going to work, because HRC has been doing something similar with MOPED. I suggest you contact the Mayor's Office with Disability and speak to Crystal. She's the one that's been working on certain problems like this to help to keep the balance on this. But we should be having her coming maybe as a speaker as well, combined with Jennifer Schull. But this is something we have to be very careful with anyone for safety as well. But let me just move on to our next person, Ursula from Ursula, are you there? Because I know I saw you putting your announcement on.
Yes, good morning. I'm Ursula Kowalczyk from Family Connect, Adapt Community Network. And I put already information in a chat regarding our summit that will take place on October 6th. And we have a plenary session and a few webinars. There will be a session, and this is being live. We have a Spanish and Chinese translation. I put already the link that you can register and get all the information on the page of our website page. All right, and if anybody would like to be on the mailing list, you can email familyconnect@adaptcommunitynetwork.org, and I'll put this in a chat. And I'll have a question, Deborah, to you regarding if I can. Yes, Chris, can I ask right now the question?
Permission granted.
Since you mentioned that families, they're losing, or not really families, the individuals losing the Medicaid waiver to the because they're making more money, but Medicaid waiver is like waiving the income of the families. I understand that you're talking about
No, Ursula, it's
No?
not that. When they're under 18, it is the
Mhm.
responsibility of the parents to support their child. That's why they have the Medicaid waiver. But Medicaid waiver does follow up with individuals throughout their life. Because a lot of your services are like in-home respite, emergency respite is under, and a lot of the camp services are now under the waiver. Family support, like they became waiver. So you do have to be careful, because if you do make the parent, when the child goes under the parent's social security number to collect, then they have to worry, because that's when they could lose their Medicaid waiver. Also, because mistakes have been made by what used to be MSCs and now care coordinators. They see the rise in the monthly income. They don't check to see, does it say a C1 or C2, and they don't check that. And then what ends up happening, they tell the parent to file for the spend down when they shouldn't be filing. That is a problem. And it's been found by not just here in New York City, but across New York State. And that is the problem. The waiver for you under 18 is because you've been diagnosed with a developmental disability, and after you get accepted by OPWDD, then you get the Medicaid waiver. But adults can get the Medicaid waiver too, due to their developmental disabilities that's diagnosed before the age of 22. So I do understand that, but I will tell you, it is very stressful. I've had parents call me who are in credit card debts over $10,000 to $20,000.
But that means that the adult child is getting SSI,
they're
I mean,
direct
under the
payees.
parents, yes?
Again, Social Security says this, and it's been in existence since 1939. Child is diagnosed with a disability before the age of 22, and they cannot ever work. They are legally allowed to collect under the higher wage earner in their family, either father or mother. And then they start seeing the person goes on, they would go on, the parent of social, if they had to go on for disability, the parent, they would go on to Social Security Disability Insurance, with the acronyms are SSDI. You call, then what would happen is the child is allowed, even if they're 50, to collect under their parent. The parent retires, it's the same thing. The parent passes away, yes, because then you'll see the parent's social security number, whether he's C1 or C2, and that tells you how many people are collecting. It could be the widow of the father who had made a lot of money with the child, because the child was diagnosed with a disability before age 22. So you can have Medicaid waiver as an adult, but you will also lose Medicaid for services covered by OPWDD, because you would have to do the spend down. And it could be $500, $600, even $1,000 a month. That is what I'm saying. And you need to study those Social Security rules and regulations. In fact, parents have made they have not checked correctly either, because when you go to file or retire, and they have it already, Social Security, that you're the representative payee for this child. So they try to tell the parents, because they've told me, your child's going to start soon collecting under your number or your husband's number. And they don't pay attention and understand how much. They don't check. And sadly, they don't tell the child's care coordination organization or whichever services they're getting. So what ends up happening? The care coordinator thinks that they have all this extra money, and they send them to do the spend down at Medicaid, and that is wrong. And Maria Ortiz Casada, the head of New York City Medicaid, has said this more than one time for families, and also to the providers. So I want you to be aware of that. Adults can still continue getting the Medicaid waiver. Under 18, it's because the parent, their parents are technically supposed to cover their part of the medical insurance. Over, they're still disabled. They have that right to have the Medicaid waiver. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I think I need to really call you. I don't want to take your time because just only one question. When the child getting SSD under the parents, still they can have a Medicaid waiver, or it depends
Yes.
how much?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But you can't, the child cannot make more money than mom or dad in a working.
Mm-hmm.
It goes
Okay.
by that. And a lot of times people don't look for that. Oh, my child's got a job. Well, let's be realistic. The income levels we had, say, were a lot lower than what they are now. So the child can even be in a part-time and still make more money than mom or dad. That's why we're asked, that's why the ARC nationwide is asking for all Social Security income levels to be raised up a much higher level. So we don't have these issues with individuals who lose the needed medical care and services through either OPWDD, even OMH, or they're disabled with other disabilities. So it's
All right.
very important. Now you understand?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem. Glad to be able.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'm
But
muting.
yeah, let me just make it easy for everyone. It is very difficult to know what the changes are, and I am going to remind everyone that information does, changes. And this is the reason why I remind everyone. Please try to look at our videos that are on the joint or the outreach page. We did have those speakers during last year, part of the beginning of the year, this year, about different changes, and we may have them again. But I remind everyone, please try to attend or if you can't be there, watch our videos. They're available on our website as well as on our YouTube channel. So you can always type in the Bfssac, and that also shows you what subcommittees have been doing the videos, as well as the joint meeting ones as well. So let me just make that very clear to everyone. Please always check our website for those videos. They're on the YouTube channel as well. And I know I'm seeing people putting in. Thank you, Ursula. And just to remind everyone, the ADAPT is having their conference also, and that's available also on our website, as well as their trainings are going to be on our website starting this coming week, next week. So please, everyone, try to attend some of those trainings, because some trainings, as I said before, between ADAPT and a lot of other agencies that do training, I encourage everyone, try to attend trainings that are not in the OPWD, but outside OPWDD, that will give you the arsenal weaponry and the update facts as well. So just like someone had a question concerning about how to know when the elevators are out, how to advocate certain things, but how to do it. There are trainings on that. So I encourage everyone to please, try to do that as well. Try to look at our video page on the YouTube channel as well as on our website. Now, I am going to move on to anyone else have an announcement. I'm going to ask for not Janet Davis, but under Janet Davis, Janet Lamant.
Lamantia. Hi, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Okay, I apologize for not having a video. I'm having a whole bunch of computer issues. So this was the easiest way to get on without having any other.
I can hear you.
Okay. So thank you for letting me, give me this little bit of time to speak. I just wanted to discuss. So I'm from Eden 2 Programs. I am the Director of Family Services and Benefits and Entitlements. And I just wanted to speak about two of our contract programs that we have that I really would like to promote and have a bigger presence in Brooklyn. So the first one is our evaluation program. We provide evaluations for individuals who are seeking OPWDD eligibility. Please, if you know of any family, send them our way. Although we are located in Staten Island, we do serve Brooklyn people. We are able to complete the IQ score, the adaptive score, and then an autism rating scale, if necessary, of course. and the psychosocial, which is also needed for part of the eligibility evaluation process. We can actually really work with you on this. You don't have, if traveling to Staten Island is an issue, we can make this work. We can do intakes virtually now. We can complete the majority of the testing virtual. Like, we've kind of created this whole system during COVID. We can come to you. We can make it work. So please don't let traveling to Staten Island kind of steer you or anybody away from us. We are very flexible. So our only requirement for this program is that you cannot be actively enrolled in Medicaid. If you perhaps have Medicaid and it's off, we can provide the evaluation then, but usually it's for people who don't have Medicaid at all and are seeking OPWDD eligibility. I'll put my email and the contact information in the chat once I'm done, but please, any families that you know, or if you have anybody that I could perhaps connect to, please send them my way. And then our other program is our Crisis Respite program. And this is a really good program for people who are either going through maybe some type of an emergency where they need staff right away, or even as they're seeking, as they're going through their eligibility and waiver process, because we are able to serve people who are not yet enrolled in waiver with this program. So that's also really helpful as well, because sometimes, families need a little bit help now rather than when everything comes through. So that also, again, is a family support program. You would just need you would just need OPWDD eligibility, and again, you would not need to come to Staten Island. We could do the intake virtually, and then the staff, or generally staff that either work in Brooklyn or have no problem traveling to Brooklyn, so they would come to you. So there's no need to come see us in Staten Island. Again, so that's the clinical evaluation program and then a crisis respite program. So for crisis respite, we do only serve individuals with autism. That's just, the nature of our agency. But for clinical evaluations, we can do evaluations on any range of disability. So I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. So please, if you have any families in need, please send them my way. Thank you.
Ian, too, can you also please email that to us so we can add that?
Absolutely. The Bfssac email address is fine?
It's on the screen right here, the Bfssac.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what I have. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, but not so fast, young lady. Not done yet, because I do have a question I want to clarify, because you went a little fast, so I want to clarify.
Sorry, I was
I'm just going to remind you. I just want to remind everyone, any announcements we do, I don't rush you, because there is a law that states if you're doing an announcement, I'm not here to rush you. I want to hear it clearly so people can understand. So I want to make that very clear to everyone. And I know I've been saying this so many times. Everyone knows me by now. But Janet, you don't have to unmute yourself. You can unmute back on your phone. Back here, I can hear you.
I just didn't want any background noise.
No. Because the question's coming. No, because there's a question. Okay, so you're doing also, when a person's coming in brand spanking new, doesn't have Medicaid, we can forward them to you as well, correct?
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that means non-Medicaid. I just want to make that clear.
Yes. So as long as they do not have Medicaid, we can assist with the evaluation. And we have a really quick turnaround time. We don't really have a wait because our psychologist has a very open schedule. So really, it kind of just depends on what your schedule is like. If the family has a little bit of a tighter schedule, it may be a week or two before we can make your appointment. But generally, we're able to kind of get you scheduled for the evaluation, get the evaluation completed, and get them sent to the eligibility team at OPWDD in less than a month. So it is a pretty quick turnaround as well. And then we always provide our contact information if you have any follow-up questions. We're very open to working with families. We kind of gear them towards the care management information if they need some help picking that, or we give them information on services. So we really try to keep that connection with you. So, because, it's your first time and you kind of lean towards those people that are there for you in the beginning. So we always welcome if you have any follow-up questions or anything like that, please reach out.
Doris Kahn, you had a question? Please unmute, because I know Janet, don't leave.
Yes. This is a
I'm not
question
gonna be,
for
I'm just gonna mute
Janet.
because I'm in the school building and the kids are here, so I'm just gonna mute myself, but I'll answer.
I can hear you crystal
Yes, this is a question for Janet. Are the evaluations being done in person or they're done online?
So right now we are still doing virtual, but we are easing back into in-person. So likely it'll be a combination of both, because there's some parts that you necessarily don't have to be in person for, like especially the adaptive score, you know, just to kind of limit the time that you are with the therapist and the family. So we really are open to work with what is best for the individual and their family. So if, you know, we've had cases that you know, required the full thing to be in person, and we made that work. We had some others that, you know, fully virtual was best for the family just due to, you know, family situation or just family schedule. So we're really open to work with what is best for the individual and their family.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did that answer your questions, Dolores?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. See what I mean, Janet? Always, as I'm going to say this, take your time because we want to make sure we hear everything clearly. But I want to thank you for being here. It's glad to hear from Ian too, because everybody's been asking me about you guys. They thought maybe you guys left permanently, and I said no.
No, I'm always on these meetings.
You're just quiet.
It's tough when you're not in person, you know, because you can't put that name to a person. But I'm here, and I put my contact information. I'll put it in the chat again. Please, any questions, even if it's not necessarily related to these programs, we do have many, many other programs from school to adult. So any questions, please feel free to reach out.
And I thank you, Janet, very much. And I hope to see you next week in our joint meeting as well, because, as we're starting up a season premiere of like what's new, what's going on, and more information, as I said, will be coming in. So stay tuned, everyone, on that as well. Let me just double check. I know Deborah's right there on some switch. Okay. Before we end, I want to remind some people who came in late, and I'm going to remind everyone this because I know I said this earlier, and I'm going to make sure before we all leave or run away as well, want to remind everyone about certain, meetings that are coming right now. Remind you, one, that District 75 is having their transition fairs in all 5 boroughs. That information is also on our website. Be nice to see all you guys attending those schools. The first one is in Brooklyn at the Avenue X case, District 75 at the 7-2. That's on Avenue X. That information is also on the website and the other 4 boroughs. So they're all for the next 5 weeks on a Saturday from 11 to 3, unless they change the time. The transition fairs will be there. They will be in different locations in different schools in each borough. So please check them. Check their information. And if you want to attend, just show up and put your information there. But I will remind everyone, I will be at the other 4 borough ones. Deborah will be at the Brooklyn one. I will be at the Brighton Beach thing because I have to be there to make sure accessibility is checked as well. So I just wanted to let everyone know that one. But as some of you came in late, I want to remind everyone, this is also for Ursula and Fran and the ones who came in late, and Janet, the Janets, Ian 2 Janet, and the OPV Janet. So therefore, it didn't say I didn't leave this out. We remind everyone, this is our new number. You can call us during the hours of 9:30 to 5:30, Monday to Friday. Unless there's a holiday, we will return your call by the next day. We do not return calls on weekends because some of us do like to relax or breathe or sleep. So please make sure you, give yourself additional time. Our email address is in the bottom. Our website's right here. So please, everyone, as I remind you, please check that out. Now, I will be putting the subcommittees, the 2 subcommittees at this time, their schedule. Well, right now I'm going to say the provided information schedule will be going on the website. Right now, we'll be following up with the other committees if they're having one. We know transition is coming back. They will have their meetings. They may have it in person or virtual. I do not know. I know only Provide Information will be doing virtual, and all joint meetings will be on virtual. Next one is coming up is next Wednesday. So as I remind you, you can check our website. You can click on the link, and automatically you get on. Now, please note there is a password, and it's very easy to remember. What year is this? The answer is the year is right in front of us. We have to make sure, please, when you also entering Ring Central, please put your name in to identify yourself, because it's very hard to figure out, to find out who you guys are, okay? And as a reminder, everyone, the next joint meeting is next Wednesday. So I hope to see everyone there at that meeting. And I remind you, if you have service openings, please make sure you email us by this Friday, or if you send it to me now, it's even fine. I don't penalize people like earliness. The more earlier, the more it makes it easier on that as well. So I want to remind everyone, the next meeting for the joint meeting is the 21st. Our next outreach update will be the first Wednesday in November, November 3rd. So I am going to remind everyone to put that in your calendar, but I'm going to say we might have it in person or virtual. I will get back to everyone during the joint meeting, or check our website, because we might have a speaker, we might not. I don't know, because I don't want to surprise anyone on that as well. So before I end, does anyone have any questions or concerns I should know? Ursula, do you have a question? Because sometimes I know I can smell it from here.
I will call Deborah. I don't want to take
That's
time.
a Deborah question. I'm talking about anything for the outreach update questions. I'm talking about.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, just checking. Dolores Khan or anyone else, or Janet, do you all have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No questions. Thank
No questions right now.
Oh, good. Then as of this moment, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for being here today. And I hope to see everyone next Wednesday and in future meetings. So on behalf of the subcommittee chairperson of the Brooklyn Advisory Council Outreach Update, I want to thank everyone who was here today. Janet Davis, you have something to say?
No.
Oh, because your microphone was on. I thought you had a question.
I know.
Yes, and have fun with all that construction you got to do. I can see it. You're getting a look. Since no one else has anything else, I want to thank everyone who was here today, and I hope to see everyone at our joint meeting next Wednesday. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Deborah.
You're very welcome, Jen, and thank you for being here.